Tonight, at the Gordon Freeman Center for the Arts, a high-intensity battle of wits between Governor Jeremy Sprinkles and Abraham Gunpowder begins. This is their first debate since the presidential race has begun.
Unprecedented times, as Garry's resignation as the mod has forced us into a rapid election cycle. Both nominees bring with them diverging perspectives on some of our most important issues. The Valve News Network's presidential debate starts now.
Good evening, I'm Boneworks Johnson, and thank you for joining us tonight on the Valve News Network's presidential debate.
And I'm Chelsea Sponge. Tonight's debate is going to frame the future for both of these nominees' campaigns for the months to come. This is either's chance to really grab the people of Garry's mod, especially in the important swing maps.
We must also discuss the rules for tonight's debate. Each nominee will have 2 minutes to answer each question and 1 minute for replies or rebuttals. Neither have been fed the questions beforehand, and the moderators have every right to stop a debater who's exceeding his time or causing a problem.
And so with that, we will begin. Governor Sprinkles won the game of Tiddlywinks played before the debate, and so he is permitted to begin the answers after opening remarks.
First with you, Governor Sprinkles.
Well, the American people know me well. My name is Jeremy Sprinkles. I am a member of the Villains Party. And as you all know, I'm trying to run to be the next Garry because I believe I will make our great game a better place for everyone, and for everyone, and for everyone. Unlike my opponent here, who is running off the stage and being a nuisance. Horrible person to be around.
Be nice.
Mr. Gunpowder, return to your podium.
That was rude. That was an attack
so.
on me. Attack on my character, attack on my body.
That was an attack on my character, sir.
Enough of this, let's move on.
Mr. Gunpowder, your opening remarks?
What I believe in is a strong Gmod. A Gmod for the people. The rich people, of course, as Gmod is a place only for the exceedingly wealthy. Is what I would say if I was joking, of course. Or am I? This is the question we seek to answer. My name is Abraham Gunpowder, and I only have one question to ask. Who really is the most important person in tonight's show? And who will be tonight's big loser? Who will be the one to come out on top? I think I know the answer, and it's me. Thank you very much.
Top.
This is true.
Right then.
I can back this up.
Oh.
Is that an anecdote, Mr. Gunpowder, or is that on the record?
Take that however you wish to take it.
Fair enough. Let us begin then. We're going to start tonight with the most pressing issue dividing our people, the prop wars. The people are divided between wanting an allowance for unlimited props in games, while some advocate for limitations and control over props. Where do you stand, and how do you intend to manage your position? Governor Sprinkles, you have the first 2 minutes.
Well, I believe that the prop wars is indeed one of the greatest threats that has ever faced our beautiful game. Certainly, I believe. Martha Stewart and her troops have invaded us to the west and to the east, and Garry has appears to have been some gore. You see what I mean? The war has affected us so much that there is gore all over the place, and we cannot do anything about it. I believe that in order to resolve the prop wars, we must seek a two-state solution for limited props and unlimited props. I believe in peace. I believe in love. I believe in war. I believe in love. I believe that we are a society which can coexist with each other. You see, the war has gotten so bad that there are people raining from the skies. This is what the prop wars have done to us, and I intend to bring peace to our beautiful nation. I yield my time.
Thank you, Governor Sprinkles. Mr. Gunpowder, do you have a retort?
Good lord.
I have many things to say. First off, I don't know what he was talking about. If you stand over there, you clearly say...
Mr. Gunpowder, you have 2 minutes to retort. Do you need a reminder of the question?
No, I perfectly understand. As a response quickly to what he said, there is no...
He doesn't understand anything. You're throwing bodies
You
all
will
over
look
the
at it.
stage.
You will look at his stand, and you will see that there is no rag dolls, no props.
Gentlemen,
only
need I
the
remind
mess
you?
that he has created.
Need I remind you? This is the first question. Mr. Gunpowder, you have 1 minute and 39 seconds left. Would you like to respond to the question?
I'm simply responding to what he responded to the question. As his response informs my response. As my response is what we need. We need to crack down on what the people are doing. And those people are people like him. People who seek for a worse Gmod. People who seek for a Gmod that only stands for fun and games, but not for work. He only cares for a Gmod of workers, but not of players. He speaks for the letter G! Do you see what I am saying? This is the Gmod we are under with him. I will make strict regulation that makes us aware of what we need to do and what we will do.
Mr.
Well, now
Gunpowder,
I'm
you have
not sure
45.
what's happening.
You have 45 seconds left, and you haven't answered the question about the prop wars.
May you repeat the question, please?
No, I may not.
Well, that seems very counterintuitive.
Mr. Gunpowder, you have 30 seconds.
I understand this world better than anyone here. I understand what we must do. We must take the props. We must take them and do what must be done to create a better Gmod. We must take them. Shut up! We must take them, and we must build a better world for the people. Or else this will happen. Bottles raining from the sky. Cats
Mr.
and
Gunpowder, your
dogs
time is
living
up.
together.
Mr. Gunpowder, your time is up. Your time is up.
For Governor Sprinkles, you've been vocal in the past weeks in favor of a new voice chat codec that you and your party have added to the game a few years back. Do you have any words for undecided voters who are unsure about the changes like these?
Yes, indeed. I certainly believe that change can be scary. Change can be something that we are all very afraid of. And that's okay. But guess what? This is my proposal to all of them. Remember when we started eating fluffernutter sandwiches? That's mallow fluff and peanut butter combined with a slab of jam and ham on a piece of toasted toast. It was scary. The change, it was not change we wanted in our lives, but we had to have it anyways. We had to change, and we adapted to that change. We grew better, we grew stronger. And I believe that the people of Garry's Mod are ready for a new voice codec. We are ready for clarity, for cleanliness, for clarity, for cleanliness. Something that the people of Garry's Mod don't understand. We can eat peanut butter sandwiches. We can change our diets. We can change our ways. We can change who we are. Not like my opponent here, who refuses to change. He refuses to make himself a better person. He fights the skulls. He places the engines. He changes things, but for the worse. We're changing things for the better. And we're going to make Garry's Mod better than it's ever been. And I believe that the citizens of Garry's Mod will love the changes we'll bring.
Governor, your time is up. Thank you.
Mr. Gunpowder, do you have anything to say in response?
Can you please repeat the question?
Well, the question was for Governor Sprinkles.
I just want to make
how
sure
do
I'm
you-
fully
do you have-
understanding something that he does not understand. He does not care about understanding. All he cares
I
about is
understand
control.
perfectly well. You understand
shut
nothing.
up! He does not care about control. He only cares about games and fun. I care about a better voice codec and coding. I believe in a better place where we can speak in crystal clear audio.
Mr. Gunpowder, you've been talking for 40 seconds now. You have 20 seconds left in your retort.
He does not understand anything. I understand. I've met the engineers. I've met the encoders. I've met those that will make a difference. The only person he has met is big booby ladies off of Tinder.
Mr. Gunpowder, your time is up. Will that be all?
Check the receipts.
Anything to say, Governor?
Well, The only thing he understands, my opponent, the only thing he understands is how to make his Subway order 20 meatballs, 2 pieces of salami, 4 gallons of mustard, all on 1 Italian toasted cheese loaf bread. That's all he understands.
Everybody knows I eat a spicy Italian
You understand
with
nothing.
mayo
You
and
understand
mustard
nothing.
and lettuce and spinach and black olive and
See, my
Mr. Gunpowder, Mr. Gunpowder.
insane.
he is being slanderous of my character.
He is being slanderous of the sacred Subway.
I am not slanderous, I am slathering mayonnaise on my spicy Italian with the mustard, mayonnaise, lettuce, spinach, pickle, jalapeno, black olives on a flat bread,
No.
4 foot long,
No,
and
he
I
lies.
toast it,
He
and
lies,
it's
my opponent.
delicious.
My opponent does not
got a
understand
load
the
of these
floating head of
guys.
justice has approached us. He has marked him for dead. Mark my words.
Shut up!
Right, moving on. Another question. Here, Mr. Gunpowder, you'll be allowed to answer first. It's on the subject of weapons control. A popular game in among Garry's Mod citizens, Trouble in Terrorist Town, has become the subject of controversy surrounding regulation amongst the youth. Where do you stand on this issue, and will you continue to allow the game to be legal amongst our people?
I believe that Trouble in Terrorist Town is a fundamental cornerstone of a child's upbringing in Gmod. Think that... Excuse me. Think about being
We'll give you your 2 minutes back, Mr. Gunpowder. You may start again.
It is a fundamental part of a young child's upbringing here in Gmod. Think back to your young days, even in another country. Think about being in Roblox and various games that mimic the game that is in our very own country. These are important to us. We respawn. We saw it just now. We saw what we can do. People are acting as if this is a terrible thing, while I tell them this is a great thing, but they do not listen, for they have been brainwashed by those over in this party, for they do not like fun, they only like play. Play without fun is nothing. That is monotonous busy work. I think that we should allow weapons everywhere. See, he is fine. He is living quite fine. I shoot him twice and he is still living.
We would invite you not to shoot. We would invite not to shoot your opponent debater.
Understood. He is deploying poop on me, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Governor,
This is not a court.
applies to you as
This
well.
is not a court. This is not a court of
My
law.
apologies.
Sustained.
My apologies. I am
Understood.
better. I can learn from my mistakes. So, like my opponent.
The only mistake you ever made, the only mistake I ever made was coming here to debate you tonight.
The only thing you learned was how to make a death bathtub with a car battery and warm water.
That is not a death bathtub. That is a life bathtub. It charges the electrolytes in your body and causes you to become stronger than ever before.
Mr.
And I
Gunpowder,
can
you have
prove
23
it.
seconds left.
You cannot.
It makes you stronger. Trouble in Terrorist Town makes you stronger. You must
Prove it right
understand everything. Everything that we do is.
It's for our people. You don't understand what we are doing. This is an important part of our young children's upbringing. We need to be committing to this. We need our nation to have this. We need Trouble in Terrorist Town.
Mr. Gunpowder, your time is up. Thank you. Governor Sprinkles, your own answer on the question surrounding Trouble in Terrorist Town?
Well, it's in the name. Trouble in Terrorist Town. My opponent! He knows nothing about what he's saying. He knows nothing. Look at him. He's desecrating a corpse. You see this? You see this majesty, this tragedy? He's making blood all over the place. He is the terrorist. This is the trouble we have.
I am the priest. I disagree.
You see, he's playing
is
a
evil.
character. He's playing somebody. He's taking over the corpse of a man who is no longer alive. How can we trust his word about Trouble in Terrorist Town? No matter what he says, it's not workable. It is not capable. He is incapable of most things. He cannot be trusted. I will bring back Trouble in Terrorist Town to its true glory. Hundreds of thousands of players have left, but we will make subsidies. We will bring back the people who left, and we will rebuild our economy back to the strength it was before. Whereas my opponent will bring us down. He will bring us into the dark ages where we had servers filled with bots, fake people, transplants. No, we will be stronger than ever before.
Thank you, Governor Sprinkles.
You're welcome.
Now let's move on to the foreign policy section of the debate. Mr. Gunpowder, there have been major developments across the sea in the land of Team Fortress, mainly concerning the bot crisis. If you were in power of Garry's mod, would you get involved in this overseas conflict? And if so, how would you handle the situation?
I didn't do
Mr.
that.
Gunpowder?
Just to be clear, are we discussing that of
For
the
it
bots
was said,
created by
they
Manco
have
or the
become
bots
like
in our
these
casual
peculiar
servers?
demons which dwell in matter, but in whom no light may be found.
To be clear, we are not talking about man versus, we are talking about casual lobby bots. You have 2 minutes.
If such a crisis were to come under this great country of Gmod, I would do everything in my power to keep them off. As we all know, the bots have made it very tough in that country, but I would never allow that here. So, see, if you think about it, the people over there of the Vanos party,
I pray do never turn away thy light. Give heed to me, and spring thy traps upon mine enemies when I cry out to thee.
You see, the horses come, the horses reign. Pestilence.
that was a sign from our Lord up above! See, I listened to the priest!
You see, all he brings is pestilence.
Mr. Gunpowder, you have 70 seconds.
It's his fault! It's him! His party does it for. They are the software developers. They develop the software that creates the bots that run on foreign computers that exist on different countries. See, he laughs at it, for he does not understand the terrible things he has created, the terrible robots, the amalgamations of human life that he has infested upon the Team Fortress 2 servers. He does not understand the damage he is causing, only using it as a propaganda technique against people like me.
Take hold of a weapon
I would
and
do
shield, and rise to help me.
Exactly! I would do everything in my power to keep the bots off of Gmod. And every American knows this, for I am a fine Gmodian, and I am a fine president, and I am a fine Garry! And this
is not a president. He is not a Garry. He is a fraud. He is a fraud.
I will be the best of all! I will be the best of all! I will be the best Garry!
Mr. Gunpowder, that is all your time.
And from this bed I cry out for the kindling of thy
Stop
light.
attacking my son. I will
I
have to
didn't do
fight you.
anything.
This is my son. This is my son, the Nathaniel man, Nathaniel. Do not touch him. What is that? I don't know what that was. There's something
Governor
horrible.
Sprinkles? Governor
Yes.
Sprinkles, you have a minute
Yes.
to respond.
Well, as you can hear, he's taking my son. This is
Governor
what I
Sprinkles,
For the
could you
dead
please
know
remove your
no
son?
sleep in their graves,
He's being a
nor dost thou
sorry.
remember them until
I'm
they
sorry,
are destroyed
he's-
through thy
he's a little
hand.
disturbed.
He's really
My
starting to
nephew.
piss me off, man.
Oh, well, my opponent. I think you've heard everything you needed to. You see that? He laughs in the face of adversity. He laughs. You hear that? That is not a laugh. That is sorrowful. That is a cry. You see, my opponent, all he does is he gets into bed with skeletons. He laughs. He goes away. He abandons the people of Gmod.
I want it on the record that that's
Trust
not a
him.
couch.
We
That
cannot
is
trust
not a
him.
bed. It is a couch.
You see, he interrupts the process of democracy. He says he's the president. He says he's a dictator. He is a dictator, and we have to be careful. Men like this are the ones who we fear. Men
Governor
like
Sprinkles,
this are the
Governor
ones-
Sprinkles, that is all your time. That is all your time.
My apologies.
Did anyone else hear that?
No.
My
No, what are you talking about? Stop talking. Moving on.
All right. Continue. continue on foreign policy. With recent economic developments coming out of the Sandbox country, a place which is beginning to promise similar trade benefits to that of our own, how do you intend to deal with nations gunning for our trade in technological positions like this with their Source 2 engine? Governor Sprinkles, you may begin. 2 minutes.
Well, the Source 2 engine, is dangerous. But we must accept it. We must bring it in. Do you know the types of videos? Well, the last time there was a game called Overwatch, it revolutionized the animation industry. We saw parts of the human anatomy we've never conceived before. You know what I'm talking about. You know it. We all know it. Last time that happened, revolution occurred. There appears to be a shooter. Run!
I'd remind you're still on the clock, Governor Sprinkles. You have a minute and 12 seconds.
Me and Mr. Gunpowder can align on one thing. Our nation is under threat, our nation is under attack, and we, no matter what the cost, can fix this problem and make Garry's Mod great again.
Do you concede the rest of your time?
I concede my time.
I'm not sure what party I'm in anymore.
Mr. Gunpowder, any retort? You have a minute.
Before we talk about that of Source 2, I just would like to mention that he does have a convicted felon.
The question was not about Source 2, it was about Sandbox and their own economic and technological innovations, including the Source 2 engine. You have a minute to retort, starting now.
It appears there's a new candidate.
Hey man, this is gonna... We can do this later, okay?
Thank you.
I believe that the Source 2 engine and that Sandbox will be a valuable asset. While they may not have always been there, they're here now. And the best we can do is work within them for a peaceful resolution.
What are you talking about? Careful. Zombies.
Something bad is happening.
Something wretched is in the air.
As a quick fact check, that was in fact a man hack and not a zombie.
Oh, you said we weren't being fact-checked.
No, you're going to be vigorously fact-checked after this debate.
Oh yes, heavily fact checked.
All right, well, thank you for your time, Mr. Gunpowder. That ends that question.
What is
Chelsea?
That? There is an invasion in our land. Help me, Mr. Gunpowder! They're here! They're here!
Governor Sprinkles, how do you feel about the rise of the newly unveiled nation of Deadlock? You have 2 minutes.
Jeez. Appears to be a shootout of some sorts. Well, I believe the people of Deadlock deserve autonomy and deserve respect for what they are. They are a new addition into our growing world. But in a world full of evil such as this that roams the stage, we certainly should be embracing the types of people and nations that believe in autonomy and believe in respect. You see, I am not evil. I purely want what's best for everyone, unlike my opponent here, who truly only believes in dictatorship and authoritarianism. We are not like this. We are better. We are strong. We believe that nations should have their autonomy, whereas my friend here wants to take over all of these nations. He wants to take over Deadlock City.
Games!
We cannot allow that. We cannot. You see, all he does is he plays games. He doesn't understand the crisis. He doesn't understand the price that is paid to make sure that Garry's Mod and all of our nations are independent. We need to be strong. We need to be erect at all costs. And we must, we must make sure that all nations have independence. I yield my time.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Before we move to a retort from Mr. Gunpowder, we have another question for Governor Sprinkles. Throughout this debate, you have changed your accent around 3 or 4 times. Care for comment? You have 2 minutes.
This is what happens. Stability. Insurrection. I have to change my accent because the world demands change. The people of Garry's Mod demand change. I am preparing them for change by showing that we can change as people. And I certainly believe that change is a necessary thing, and my voice changing is a sign of the times. The times are changing. Well, my mind is going so many places. That is all. What is that thing on the ground? Who dropped a can of soup?
Thank you. Mr. Gunpowder, your response?
I would just like to say that those in the Deadlock country are a fantastic addition to us. We have brand new, diverse citizens of various different... Please stop dropping melons on me, or I will get you with the melons.
It wasn't me.
They are great people that will bring great things to our country. They will also contribute to the country of Source Filmmaker, another country that we are very well acquainted with, and I think this will strengthen our trade routes and strengthen our country in ways that we have never seen before. I would also like to say that we don't necessarily need change on everything. While the times are changing, some things maintain their truth, such as 2 + 2 = 4. And me having 5 million power in Rise of Kingdoms. I simply just want to state that I am always evaluating what could be better, but I'm also considering what could be worse. And while Deadlock will be better, well, Mr. Sprinkles.
That'll be all your time. Thank you, Mr. Gunpowder.
What is that?
Moving on to our next question, around, again, foreign policy and immigration. Early last year, the government of Nintendo forced mass deport of their people out of Gmod. Calls for Nintendo's people to be reinvited into the country have become popular, but with already rising immigration in major metropolitan areas such as GM Big City, concerns rise about feasibility of these calls. Where do you stand on this? Mr. Gunpowder, you can start.
Welcome to the ride of your life. Some secrets are best like yours.
Abstain. Abstain. Copyrighted material is not allowed. Copyrighted material is not allowed. We don't want to get demonetized.
What is happening? My opponents...
Governor, seeing as your opponent committed that tragedy on stage when asked to begin the debate question, you may start. 2 minutes.
May you please repeat the debate question?
Of course. Early last year, the government of Nintendo forced a mass deport of their people out of Gmod. Calls for Nintendo's...
Stop interrupting me!
Early last year, the government of Nintendo forced a mass deport of their people out of Gmod. Calls for Nintendo's people to be reinvited into the country have already become popular. But with already rising immigration in major metropolitan areas such as GM Big City, concerns rise about the feasibility of these calls. Where do you stand on this? You have 2 minutes.
I believe the people of Nintendo should return to where they once came from. You see, we live in a nation of games and gaming. We live in a changing nation. Listen, Grandma approached me the other day, and she said, I cannot afford to live here anymore. The people of Gmod, they're pricing us out. There's too many Gmodians. There's too many Nintendos. There's too many Nintendos, she said. And I said, and she understood every word. And that's the problem. That's the thing we have to understand. That's the thing.
Oh, I'm on fire.
You see right there. That's an example. It's an example of how people are feeling. People are feeling stressed and horrid, and we must help them. Letting in the people of Nintendo will free us, will make us stronger, will make us better. I believe we should welcome the people of Nintendo back. Surely their crimes are serious, but we are a nation of forgiveness, a nation of Dunkin' Donuts, perhaps? My opponent here likes Zaxby's. What even is that? It's poop.
Governor, you have 30 seconds.
I
Thank
yield
you.
my time.
Mr. Gunpowder, any response on the issue of the Nintendo immigrants?
I say we let them in. I say we do everything we can to keep them in.
You
But
killed
those
me, I'm still on
greedy-
fire. Explain that. Explain that.
The greedy f***s at Nintendo don't want their people in our country, but I want them in our country, for they are good people. You know, I spoke with a good fellow the other day, his name being Donkey Kong. He was a good man. You know what they're doing to them? Over at Nintendo, they're reshaping him. They're remolding him into a different man. A man he doesn't want to be. Do you know what they have done to Samus? Nothing. And that's the problem. Yeah? What's up? I wish that you guys knew what happened to Link, but that is something I cannot state on this public television. Nevertheless, there's
You're under
one
an
thing
oath of
that we should all
honesty,
agree on.
Mr. Gunpowder.
Excuse me?
You're under an oath of honesty, Mr. Gunpowder. You signed a pinky promise during the game of Tiddlywinks earlier.
This is true, and I'm telling the truth. And I just want to say, we should let them in, and that they are great people.
Will that be all, Mr. Gunpowder?
Yes, that would be all! I feel like I made that very clear!
You did not. Thank you, though.
Moving on to the foreign policy section, let's talk about Physguns. The Physgun is a powerful tool that everyone in Gmod uses. For both of you, what is your preferred Physgun color, and how does that factor into your plan for the game? Mr. Gunpowder, let's start with you.
I don't think he understands English. I don't
Mr.
think he
Gunpowder?
My
understands
favorite
anything.
color is green, because green is a color of strength and kindness. See, if you look at my Physgun color right now, it shows the color green. A color that represents the kindness that I hold in my heart. Will you
stop
I don't think he
blasting
understands a
me?
single word. I think he's got insane.
Mr.
May I
Gunpowder, that's red.
May I respond to the question with a question?
Proceed.
What?
Who will groom me tonight?
I believe
is
that's
the
copyrighted material.
Oh, you are right. Hold on.
You cannot kill me.
Oh, it seems he is unkillable. Moving on.
It seems he has made a pact with
I worked hard for my
Beelzebub.
weapons.
That
My
is
weapons.
true. This is quite the development. Governor Sprinkles and all your immortality, your 2 minutes starts.
Well, I believe. Let's talk about colors. Let's talk about colors. Let's talk about colors. You see, you understand. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
Are you
It
thirsty?
means green, blue, red, and white. Those are the most important colors of the rainbow.
I'm the ambassador of Gmod.
You see right here, a student learning. You see a student learning the color of the rainbow
As long
blown
as
up
would
by my
not
opponent.
work, I'm still do that.
You understand? You understand the color green. I can hear the color red, and I can smell the color blue. You know what that means? The best color. The best color is purple. Purple. Purple.
Moving on. For the final
Yes.
question, we will end with foreign policy. For both candidates, how do you plan on stabilizing player retention? Governor, we'll start with you. You have 2 minutes.
Well, player retention. It is indeed an issue in our lovely world. Not Stampy's lovely world, our lovely world. Player retention is simple. We must build more workshop add-ons. We must build more maps for more people, and we must bring back the toy box. We bring back the toy box. We bring back the things that brought people to Gmod to begin with, to our great game. unlike my opponent here, who wants to break it all down, destroy it, turn it to dust. He wants to kill us all. I want to bring Gmod back to the glory days where the toy box reigned supreme, where people wanted to come here for fun, for entertainment, for toys. But we are heading down a dark path, path of where the people will no longer be able to enjoy Garry's Mod the way they have for so long. If we bring back more add-ons, if we bring back Symphys, if we bring back the laser gun, if we bring back GM Fork, make it better, we can make a better world, and we can do it easily. My opponent disagrees. My opponent is incorrect. You see, my opponent drops bodies all over me. It is the sign of an omen. It is the sign of bad times. You are a pestilence on this world. I believe you are the reason that we are facing these threats we face today. My words, if my opponent is elected, we're all dead. I yield my time.
Mr. Gunpowder, you have 2 minutes.
You sit on a throne of lies. You sit on a throne of fake news. You sit on a throne of lies. You don't understand. He doesn't understand anything about what I'm doing in this beautiful world.
Mr. Gunpowder, I'd like to remind you you're on the clock. You have 80 seconds.
You see now, he refuses to talk when times get tough. He refuses to act when things get bad.
Governor, it's not your time. Mr. Gunpowder, you have 52 seconds left. Will you like to answer the question?
Bleh.
Mr. Gunpowder?
40 seconds.
Mr. Gunpowder, we cannot hear you.
I will bring this nation.
Your time is up. Shut up.
Alright, let's move on to... We move now to closing remarks. Mr. Gunpowder, although you lost the game of Tiddlywinks, you were playing with a bouncy ball, having fun, plus playing, so you will begin our closing remarks. You have 2 minutes.
Do you see this ominous red aura surrounding this room right now? It is an aura of sadness. An aura of evil, an aura of deceit. I look at my opponent here, Mr. Sprinkles, and that's what happens. But as soon as I stand up for myself, everything becomes so much more clear, doesn't it? We understand that in this nation, we must do what is best for the people, not what's best for the ruling class. We must do what's best for those who are less fortunate, those with less advanced computers, or those who do not know how to subscribe to packs on the Steam Workshop. We must do what we can for these people. Those over on, well, this guy's side, they speak for deceit and evil. But over here, we speak for joy, whimsy, power, and well, it doesn't matter, because I already have 50 million power in Rise of Kingdoms.
Thank you, Mr. Gunpowder. Governor Sprinkles, you're invited to do your closing remarks. You have 2 minutes as well.
Yes. I believe my opponent here is an omen. He claims that I am evil, and he bathes me in this red light to put me in a picture. You see what that is? Do you understand what he's doing here? He is trying to divide us. He is trying to break us apart, to break us into two Garry's Mod. He wants to make Abraham Mod. He is a liar and a cheat. I want to make Sprinkles Mod. But he wants to divide us. No. You understand? Do you understand what we built this nation off of? G is what we built this nation off of. We built the G. We made the G. And he wants to take it away. He wants to ruin what was once made that made us whole. We are a nation of freedom, a nation of rules and regulations. But my opponent, look what he's done. Look around, dear viewer. There are bodies, trash, pieces of garbage all over the stage. This is what happens when you elect a leader like Abraham Gunpowder. He bathes the world in red light, and he bathes us in death. I only hope that I can show the world that I will bring peace to our nation, while my opponent will turn this game into a horrible, rotten place. I yield my time.
You ever heard of Amtrak, old man?
That puts a lid on the first and last debate of this election cycle. Now, the choice rests on your capable shoulders, dear viewer. Who should receive the title of the next Garry? Abraham Gunpowder or Jeremy Sprinkles? Now, before we close, there will be a ceremonial fight to cap off the evening. Be sure to head to the digital polling booth of your choice to cast your vote. Polls close in a month. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe! Peace and love, players. Out of the way, you both do know that this is a fight to the death, correct? Meaning you might die.
Well,
Wouldn't be the first time.
no. Yes, you killed me numerous times.
Yes, in the event that someone perishes, we do have a local respawn point set up, but in case that does not work, we are going to have you guys. We want to ask you guys real quick. Do you have any last requests, any messages you need to send out to next of kin, things like that, before we...
Well, I'll just say, please make sure that the orphan organ harvesting ring for baby blood is still in effect when I'm gone. There's some very powerful people who are going to need that.
Oh, yes, he's absolutely right. We need to make sure that exists still.
Yep, we'll send out some messages.
Oh, also, is make sure to tell my 3 wives that the baby organ grinder needs to remain active at all times, no matter the cost.
Alright, we'll send that off too.
I want to make sure nothing of our affair is public, me and my accomplice.
No. Yes.
That would be that.
I know, it would be potentially dangerous.
Let that go now. It's making me nervous.
Yes, I was saying, who was making that noise? It's terrifying. It's scaring me. You're scaring the children. You're scared. Who's that in the window? Huh?
Alright, gentlemen, we are about to begin. Are there any last words?
No. Is what I would say if I was a liar!
Well, unlike my opponent, I have lots to say.
I say we let our fists do the talking.
Do you know what these hills signify? Years ago, there was a man named...
No more last words. I don't care anymore. You bore me.
Then let's begin, bastard. The only way to be the next Garry
is to truly understand the limits of power. And you know what my
Prepare to
power
meet
level
my
is?
modifications.
But guess what? My power level, it's over 9,000!
There's something you don't know about me.
What is that?
I trained for this moment for years.
You will win! You, sir, with...
What did you do to me?
I needed to put you in your place. You don't understand. You'll never understand. Look at me. Come back here. You do not understand what it means to be the next Garry. You're a fool. You priest. A product of a time that no longer exists. You.
Hiya, fellas.
Time to die! No! My leg! No!
You're dead! Come on! This doesn't seem
Let me live! Please! Don't kill me! No!
You never stood a chance.
You cannot kill me!